Welcome back to the Tracy Take. Today, Ryan and I will be previewing the Week 16 Monday Night Football matchup between the Miami Dolphins. Yes, we said Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. But before we get into that, Ryan and I, we want to make a quick shout out to everyone that helped us reach our goal of reaching 300 subscribers by the end of the year. We would not have been able to do it without you, obviously, and we are grateful for that. We love doing this for you guys and keep building our community. And with that being said, if this is your first time here and you are not subscribed, please do hit that like button, comment on this video, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on this board. We already got one comment on it. I love it. I think I might quit my job and become an artist. Share this video with your – don't do that. I'll talk to my wife about it. Let's see what she says. Share this video with your Dolphins and Saints friends and fans. And Ryan, let's get into it. How the hell are we talking about the Miami Dolphins? The Falcons beat Miami, and this game is important. Who would have actually thought that Miami would be in a game, like a critical game this late into the season? And that kind of just leads me over to my question for you is they have won 6 in a row now. How come no one is talking about them being the hottest team in the NFL right now?
Well, I will tell you exactly why they have gone on a 6-game win streak. The Dolphins have had the 5th weakest strength of schedule over the last 6 games. Not just this season. In the last 20 years, they have played 6 of the worst teams in the NFL over the last 6 games, and they have taken advantage of it. The only really difficult task that they had was the Baltimore Ravens. However, that was kind of the beginning of the downfall of the Baltimore Ravens as the number 1 seed in the AFC. So all of these teams have just been absolutely atrocious. Not to take anything away from the Dolphins, but I am. I say that as I wear a Patriots hat, but they have been able to rattle off 6 wins in a row and put themselves in a situation to make the playoffs. And I think it's a little bit crazy, but they put together a good defense. They have a somewhat consistent offense. And Brian Flores has just done a good job of winning football games. So, I mean, in a way, I kind of think they're pretty similar with the Saints. Miami had a good start in New England. The Saints had a good start. They lost. Miami lost 7 games in a row. The Saints lost, I think, 5 games.
Yeah, they lost 5 games in a row. Then they're now on a 2-game winning streak, beating the Jets, and then they just shut out the Bucs, which we'll get into a little bit.
Yeah, and so both of these teams have had a little bit of a resurgence, and are coming back and trying to make playoff pushes as the season comes to a close, and they're both in position to do it.
Yeah,
I will say the loser of this game will probably no longer be in playoff contention. The Saints have a chance, but it's very unlikely. The Dolphins will be out of playoff contention. That'll put them at 8 losses, and you can't have 8 losses. So with that being said, let's kind of start breaking this game down. Who do you think has the edge in this one coming into it?
So, I mean, personally, if you're they both have. I mean, they're coming on with some serious confidence. The Saints just shut out the Bucs, one of the top, if not the top, offense in the league. The Saints team, the reason why they're still in contention is because of how great this defense is. They are able to contain a lot of teams. They have had some shaky moments throughout the season, such as giving up 40 points to Philadelphia. But every time that they've played an elite offense. Well, not every time, I should say, because they gave up 31 to the Bills and 27 to the Cowboys. But this defense still is top notch. I think they are playing super well. They have some shakiness in the pass game. I think that's some secondary issues. Because really, outside Marshawn Lattimore, they don't really have too many other cornerbacks. But That being said, I think Sean Payton is a hell of a coach, and he's able to put his teams in position to win. Like that's really the only reason why they are still being competitive is a strong defense, and then I think just great coaching, putting them in a great position to win. With Miami, though,
Mhm.
you are on a 6-game winning streak. You haven't lost since since October. You haven't lost since October, so that's some pretty serious confidence.
Yeah.
Like coming in, especially at this point in the season. And one of the biggest things I think has been kind of the emergence of Jalen Waddle. He's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver as long as he stays healthy. He's sitting at 845 yards. I think that's given them a huge edge as well because you have Jalen Waddle on one side and then Miles,
Yeah.
not my, who's their tight end?
Devontae
No,
Parker.
Mike
Mike
Gesicki. Yes, I want to say Miles. I knew that wasn't it. Two solid
Yeah.
receiving options.
Miles
Yes,
Gaskin's
Miles
the running
Gaskin,
back.
running back. Who is a solid option. He's not an elite running back, but he's able to do what they need him to do. He's able
Yeah.
to catch the ball out of the backfield. And so I think one of the things matchup-wise, Miami matches up well against New Orleans. Miami is in the lower tier in pass defense and yards allowed per game. But luckily, the Saints have no quarterback, really. So they don't really have any receiver threats. They have Alvin
Mhm.
Kamara, and that's it. Marquez Callaway can be a threat. He did have over 100 yards in the last game, but it's just inconsistent. It's just inconsistent performances from all their receivers. You don't really know who the guy is going to be or if there is going to be a guy. But they're not even averaging 200 passing yards
Mhm.
per game this season. That's including with Jameis Winston. So if the Dolphins, who have a top 10 run defense, are able to contain Alvin Kamara, there is a serious shot for them to win this game. But I kind of want you to tell the statistic that we realized as we were going over this, just to show how close these teams
Yeah.
are and how close this game is going to be, just based off the average points per game. What was that statistic that you told us about?
So the Dolphins are averaging 20.4 points a game. The Saints are giving up on average 20.4 points
Yeah.
a game. And then the Saints as well are averaging scoring 22.4 points a game. And then the Dolphins are averaging giving up 22.3 points a game. So statistically, they are almost as identical as you
Yeah.
can be in terms of points for
Mm-hmm.
and against. So I think it's really interesting kind of how these teams match up because they're built very
Mm-hmm.
similarly. However, Miami's passing game, they kind of do what I say you coined is they run the ball through the air. While they do throw the ball down the field sometimes, I think a lot of what they can do is get the ball into their playmakers' hands and then let them
Mm-hmm.
create. And that's kind of what they do. Whereas the Saints don't really have a passing game, but they kind of look like an old Paul Johnson Georgia Tech football team with Taysom Hill back there, kind of running this weird like
Yeah.
option style offense where they just kind of confuse you on where the ball is, and then they're just taking 4 yards
Mm-hmm.
at a time and 4 yards at a time. And honestly, when they run their jumbo package with 6 linemen, it's really
Yeah.
hard to stop because those guys get going downhill. And Taysom Hill's a hard tackle. Alvin Kamara, who's their best player since Michael Thomas or anybody has not
Mm-hmm.
played this year. So I really think this is one of those games that I just have no idea what's actually going to happen because it's so close on paper. And honestly, I still don't really buy into either of these teams being
No.
that good. So I am just really interested on who you think is going to win and who you think is going to come out on
Well,
top.
so I think I'm honestly I'm going to stick with the team that's won more games in a row. I think I'm going to stick with Miami only because it seems like that pass game has kind of uh, emerged as a threat for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Now that being said, as you said, over this past 6 games, they have not really played anyone of substance. Even when they beat the Ravens, Ravens have one of the worst, if not the worst, pass defense in the league because they've just been so banged up with injury.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think Jalen Waddle is going to have a game. I think Mike Gesicki is going to have a game. I think Myles Gaskin might have a running touchdown out of the backfield. And I just seem like they're just playing a fun brand of football. And I think that they're going to be able to contain Alvin Kamara and that Saints offense only because I just don't think they have that much of a threat. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have any other threat, really. That being said, it's tough going against Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton's going to devise a great game plan. I will say I think it's going to be a low scoring game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's we were talking about this. The over under is 38.5 points. I'm curious when the last time an NFL game was not at least 40 points. Like that's crazy to think. Just on how low the point total is going to be, but I think Miami's going to win. I'm going to go with a 21-17 win.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
He did.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was like, in my head, I was like, I think the Saints are going to win 21-17. And I was like, I guarantee you he's going on this and he's going to say 21-17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, man. So I kind of just gave away my pick there. But I think the Saints are going to pull it out. They're at home. I think this will be the first real test the Dolphins have had. And one of the things, too, that stuck out to me in the Saints-Buccaneers game was that Demario Davis was playing really well on Keyshawn Vaughn and Ronald Jones in coverage. Malcolm Jenkins was one-on-one with Rob Gronkowski, and he covered him really, really well. So I think Mike Gesicki might have a harder time than some people realize. And I look and I think Sean Payton is going to be back this week for the Saints. I think that's an advantage, having Sean Payton in your corner. I think the Saints win the coaching battle. So to me, they're checking off all the boxes that I think you need to win these type of close games. Is at home, good matchups, I think, on defense, and you have the coaching advantage in Sean Payton. So I'm going to pick the Saints. I'm also going to say 21-17. I just don't think either of these teams' offenses are extremely explosive. But honestly, we'll have to see. Again, I've kind of been saying is the best way to find out is to watch it on Sunday.
This time on Monday. So, yeah.
Or Monday, yeah. Sorry, Monday.
But yeah,
sorry, I got that slogan stuck in my head.
That's totally okay. But it's crazy to think. I mean, we talked about Miami a couple 2 months ago when they played Baltimore because we did all the Thursday night football games. But they just it's crazy that they're in a position to win, and because really they could honestly be contending for the division right now if it wasn't for just a couple of bad breaks early on in the season. Barely lost to the Raiders, barely lost to the Falcons, barely lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah, Tua got hurt, had a rib injury, missed 3 or 4 games.
So like not saying that they ever would be contending for the Super Bowl, but a couple of plays go their way, they could be sitting at 10-7 or fighting for the division right now. And so, but yeah, it's going to be fun to watch either way.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch this one. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Tracy Takes. So if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And again, we want to thank everybody who helped us get to our 300 subscriber goal and kept us from having a blue Christmas. And I think that's going to wrap it up. We will see you guys next time.